Right, I think we're live. Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Good to see you all in the building on a Sunday, sort of late afternoon, early evening now, coming up to 6 o'clock UK time. We've got plenty of news to go through today. We're going to be talking about Nicholas Jackson and the question that everybody had surrounding that move with Bayern Munich. What is this clause? How many games does he actually have to play in order to basically become an official permanent transfer from a Bayern Munich perspective? And the answer has now come out, not because of any sources or amazing journalism, anything like that. You've essentially had basically one of the key players at Bayern giving away the answer. So we're also going to be talking about the international updates, everything surrounding all of the players all over, really, whether it's Cole Palmer and his recovery, Reece James, Malagusto, like all of them. We're going to speak about all of them. And we'll answer any questions as well that you have. I've done a little bit of a dive into some of this stuff, so we've got a little bit more info to go through. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and let me know how you're all feeling as well. Not long until we play Brentford. International football is almost over. We've got one more game, guys. Some people, there's a part of me that thinks it's a break. It's nice to have a little bit of a reset. There's another part of me which goes, we were only just getting into our rhythm in terms of getting used to watching Chelsea, just watching the games. And now, just like that, over international break, really? Haven't even played 10 games. And then you're going to have another one and another one. I just think the way that the schedule is done is it kills all the momentum that the team has, and it creates more problems. That there's an argument that it can help clubs in an aspect if you've got players coming back from injury, and I suppose Chelsea, you could certainly make that argument, especially when you look at Palmer out, Lavia recovering, Badiashile trying to get fit as well for Fana. Probably needs a bit of extra time, even though he has been on the bench and played a few minutes. And the list goes on, right? So obviously Delap. But the other side is, can we just watch some football, guys? And actually, I think it's easier for the players as well, because then you don't have to fly all over the world when you could be playing more domestic matches and just getting them out the way. And everyone's criticizing why are players playing during Christmas time? Well, it's because we do these stupid internationals. That's why they're playing. There's no other reason about it. Big up to Harry. Good to see you, mate. Always a pleasure. Lumi as well. Good to see you. Bug up. Oh, big up. Hello, Alex. Blues fans from Tanzania. Always a fan of your content. Thank you very much, Marhays. Appreciate it. Smash the like button as well, Lumi. Yes, smash those likes, guys, whatever you're watching on. If you're on YouTube, let's get straight up to 40 likes. If you are on X, let's get up to 70. Let's get some retweets in there as well. It all helps. It all makes a difference. Good to see you, Donna. Thank you very much. Thank you. Finally went to the gym, so I am actually feeling quite happy with myself. I've been avoiding the gym for a while, but back in the groove. Well, I need to get in there a little bit more than once before I can say that. You have returned, Donna, and I will give you that. You have returned. Jackson has been fooled. Chelsea is the winner because we don't need him, and certainly Bayern will say odious at the end of the loan. Brentford versus Chelsea prediction. I am going for a 4-1 win, says Alex. Good to see you. Good to see MJ as well. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. That's very kind. Maybe in the next life. You never know, Donna. You never know. In the next life. I think Jackson will play 40-plus games because Bayern aren't risking Kane in all games. Well, also, you have to remember, he could just get injured, right? So it might not even be within their control. They might have no other option. But yes, let's give you an idea of where this information is coming from. Let's start off with Nicholas Jackson, shall we? Let's just dive into everything on that side. This was done by TNT Sports. For those of you who don't know, that's the broadcaster in England alongside Sky, and they basically do a lot of the football games. Ollie Hernab God, don't even know. I don't even know what letter that is. It's a German letter. Confirms Nicholas Jackson's £67 million buy option only becomes mandatory if he starts 40 games this season. But he says he will never do that. And this is the exact quote. There will definitely not be a permanent contract. That only happens if he plays 40 games from the start. He will never do that. Now, who is this Uli Honeb bloke? Who is he? Some of you might be wondering. He's a hugely influential figure in German football. He used to play for Bayern Munich, actually, and he became the club's longtime boss and now serves as an honorary president and a member of the supervisory board. So, yes, that is he's basically part of the board at Bayern. He's been involved with Bayern for many years, and he obviously is an influential figure. But he is not the man who chooses the player on the pitch. That is Vincent Kompany. But having said that, we've had this conversation a number of times about different managers, different situations. Are the managers in control 100% of the time? Is there politics that gets in the way of what the managers are able to do when they select their team? And I think that politics does creep into football. And this could be an unfortunate example of that, where maybe Vincent Kompany wants to play Jackson more in certain games, or is very keen to do it, and it doesn't happen just because of pressure from up above, right? I mean, that could definitely be part of it. But don't let's not make any predictions now. Let's just see what happens and see how it plays out. But I'm a fan of Jackson. Listen, I think Bayern Munich will like him as well. He's a good player. He is a good player, and he's a player that will certainly, I think, fit into the German league. I actually think he'll do better there than he would in the Prem. But that's if he's given a chance as well. You have to be given the opportunity. But then I guess the question is, Bayern Munich is saying how is, they don't believe that Jackson's going to play 40 games. They don't believe that. So how many games is he going to play? How many games are Bayern Munich going to play? How many games can Harry Kane play? So let's find that out. So I want to know how many games Bayern Munich play every year for the past 4 seasons, not including friendlies. I also want to know how many games Harry Kane has played for Bayern since he joined. Those are the questions that I want the answers to. If I was the England manager, what England starting 11 team of players would I pick for the World Cup? My God. Well, I can do that at the end, Harry. Save that question for me at the end, and I can do that. I'll give you my favourite England players at the moment. I can definitely do that. But let's stick to Jackson for now. Let's stick to Bayern Munich and everything happening there, and then we'll move on to England, because we are going to be talking about how players have done in terms of the internationals, everything with that side. And yes, we're going to dive into all of that stuff. But I want to know, first of all, like, how realistic is it that this deal can actually happen? Yeah, because we were sold the dream. Oh, well done. You know, Jackson's going to Bayern. Everyone's happy. You know, Chelsea, fantastic business. By the way, even without Jackson, still fantastic business. Yeah, we've done a lot of good deals. But we're sort of looking at two deals now. We obviously know what happened with Tyreek George. We've seen what could potentially happen with Nicholas Jackson. And it makes you think, maybe there was a little bit more that we should have read into. And now we actually have some clarity, right? Which is great. You want clarity, but makes you doubt everything just a little bit more, because 67 million would make a huge difference if we did sell Jackson for that amount. But then again, that's why you had such a high loan fee, because again, it's not guaranteed. So Bayern Munich were willing to pay whatever it was, an extra $1.5 million in loan fees, because they're not actually, you know, a position where they have to pay the money for a permanent transfer. They could easily pull out of this deal. They could easily play Jackson 39 times, and then it wouldn't count, would it? Contractually, it means nothing. Did you all really think that Bayern was going to make the move permanent? It was obvious that Jackson wouldn't meet whatever the criteria of games were. How many players will start 40 games for Bayern this season? Maybe just the goalie? Not even Kane will. Start 40 games or play 40 games? You have a different quote in your video. Well, I mean, let's just look at the quote again. There will definitely not be a permanent contract. That only happens if he plays 40 games from the start. So he's implying that Jackson has to start every game. It doesn't count if he comes off the bench. So I think it is starting 40 games. I mean, that's what it implies. Again, like, I'm not a mind reader, but read the quote. There will definitely not be a permanent contract. That only happens if he plays 40 games from the start. Make your own mind up. And then he says he will never do that. So no, I'm not leading anyone on when I put my title. That is what he said. One of the board directors at Bayern Munich. And we can only go on his words. Now, let's just have a look at how many games Bayern Munich have actually played over the past number of seasons. How many games have they played? That's what I'm really, really intrigued to know, what they have actually done. Okay, because then we can have more of a, of an understanding. So let's start off with Bayern matches per season, competitive only. All right. So they play 34 games in the Bundesliga. All right. Is that right? Only 34. How many teams are in the Bundesliga, guys? Really? Oh. Only 34 games. So they got less teams in the Bundesliga. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. They only have 18 teams. I didn't know that. Okay, so Bayern Munich only have 18 teams in the Bundesliga, so they play 34 games every year. And then they've got the DFB Pokal. They've got the Super Cup. That's, they've got the Super Cup as well, that they've played a number of times. And they've got the Champions League, and obviously they have the Club World Cup. So in the 21-22 season, Bayern Munich played 47 competitive matches. In the 22-23 season, they played 49 matches. In the 23-24 season, they played 49 matches. And in the 24-25 seasons, they played 56. But you have to account an extra 5 games were played from the Club World Cup. So, yeah, and they did exceptionally well in the Champions League in terms of playing more games there. They played 14 matches. So what do we know that Bayern have? We know that they are going to be playing 34 league games. You can guarantee that. You also know that they're going to play at least 8 games in the Champions League. All right. Now, let's just presume that they get through sort of the first 2 knockout phases after that. So they beat the league phase, and then what is it? The round of 32 or the last 16? Let's just say they get through that. So I think an accurate guess would be 12 games in the Champions League. All right. Then you've got the DFB Pokal. They've sort of varied in terms of how many games they've played in that competition. It was 2, then 4, then 2, then 3. Let's just say 3. Yeah, I think 3 is just a fair guess. And let's just say 4 games. All right, let's say 4 games. All right. And you total that up, and they would play 50 matches. Now, why has the number gone up? Because Champions League has obviously changed their format, so you play at least an extra 2 games anyway. You will be playing more matches because of the Champions League. And I would expect them to do better in the cup competitions because you've got Leverkusen who look shy, and I don't think that Dortmund are going to be challenging massively. That being said, Dortmund are not going to be challenging, I don't think. Frankfurt looked like the main sort of competitor in the first 2 games, although FC Cologne, they're doing all right. But yeah, Leverkusen have been shy. Leipzig looked pretty underwhelming as well, just bearing on points. But there's only 2 games been played, so let's not get carried away. 50 games. You're telling me that Jackson has to start 80% of matches. That's going to be tough. That is going to be difficult. So when you look at it like that, it's a bit of a slap in the face, really, because it looks great, very juicy for Chelsea, but there's no proof that he's going to be able to play that many games. I mean, how many games has Kane played for Bayern since he's been there? And this is your answer. In the 23-24 season, Harry Kane played 45 times. In the 24-25 season, he played 51 times. So Kane is in both seasons, he's played 45 games, 51 games, or been involved in that many games. So actually, that doesn't even account for starts. I can't even tell you if that starts. So I want to know how many of those games Harry Kane came off the bench. You've also got to account that they've already had 4 competitive games this season. They've had the Super Cup, they've had the DFB Pokal, and then they've played 2 games in the Bundesliga. So you've already got 4 games that Nicholas Jackson could have been involved with and isn't going to be involved with because they've already happened. So it just makes the whole clause look even worse from a Chelsea perspective. Maybe Bayern told Chelsea that they played 94 league games. I don't know. Vale says he's coming back to Chelsea. Where is the original video? I'm German. I don't know. Not that Jackson's any good, but he was still better than Guiu. What a stupid deal, to be honest. These idiotic owners sorted us out in the striker department shorted us out in the striker department for a 13 million loan fee. Well, in fairness, you have to admit it's a good loan fee. You can't deny that. But I don't think that it's just the loan and the money you have to think of, guys. You have to think of the player and the commitment. He's not committed to Chelsea anymore. He doesn't want to be a part of Chelsea because we didn't show a real willingness to want to. We didn't value him. So when you don't feel valued as a player, why would you want to be a part of anything? Doesn't even matter if it's football, any walk of any work, any company, anything, any relationship. If you don't feel valued, you don't want to spend time there. You want to go somewhere where you feel like you can improve, somewhere where you feel like you enjoy yourself and feel valued. And if you can get paid great money as well, fantastic. Not saying he's not getting paid good money at Chelsea. Of course he is. He just signed a 2-year extension last season. So I think it's a bit pathetic, really, coming out and going, oh, I don't want to be at Chelsea. Like, obviously, if he has to come back to Chelsea, he needs to get his head down and crack on. But Chelsea were very willing to go along with this. And actually, like going back to what you said about Mark Guiu is a player who deserves to be given an opportunity. Whatever you want to say, he's a player that I want to see being given an opportunity. And I watched him a couple of times for Barcelona. I saw him on his debut. I don't know why I happened to be watching Barcelona when that happened, but I saw him score on his debut. And look, Mark Guiu is a very promising player. He's a very promising player. But does that mean that he's going to give you 15 goals, 20 goals, even 10 goals? No, of course it doesn't. But from Mark Guiu's development, it would have been better for him to come back to Chelsea anyway than Sunderland. He clearly wasn't that valued at Sunderland because he wasn't playing in the league and he was playing in the cup. Sunderland aren't going to win the cup. So at some point, maybe 2 or 3 matches down the line, Sunderland again knocked out. At least, with Chelsea, you're going to have more opportunities. Now, unfortunately, because he already played in the Carabao Cup for Sunderland, he can't do that for Chelsea now. But you've got 8 Champions League games. I guarantee you're going to see rotation there. We're going to be playing, Patos, the Cyprian team. We're going to have Napoli. That's the last team as well. That there are going to be games if we get our shit done, if we get the results sooner rather than later, we will have to rotate, and that's what top teams do, right? You do what you need to do, and then the last few matches you can afford to rotate a little bit, keep everyone happy. Having said that, they will obviously have FA Cup games. We will have other opportunities, and we'll need substitute cameos as well. So Mark Guiu's definitely got a place in the squad, but I can't disagree with what you're saying. Jackson's obviously a better player, but would you rather have a player who's better in ability, doesn't want to be here, doesn't really want to be a part of Chelsea's he doesn't really want his future to be at Chelsea just here because he has to be? Or would you rather have a player who we don't really know what to expect? He's certainly young. He's got potential, younger than Nicholas Jackson, but he has that hunger, that desire, that commitment. And that's the question I throw out to you. You got one thing that you don't like, but you get something else that is positive. And people go, oh, it's just enthusiasm. Anyone would be enthusiastic about playing for Chelsea. Well, hang on a second. Nicholas Jackson clearly isn't. So is that who you want at your club right now? Do you want Nicholas Jackson, a player who doesn't want to be here? Me personally, I think it's the loan deal is good. But now that I see the price, the amount of games, he has to start 40 games for Bayern. I mean, that's going to be really tough. I don't see that happening. I agree with you, Neil, to be honest. I mean, from a financial point of view, Val, we're still very comfy, mate. We could put him on loan again next season for 10 million. We could literally put him on loan for 5 years. 10 million on fee, 10 million, 50 million on loans. I mean, that would work. It's not practical, but it would work. I mean, he's dug this hole for himself, Jackson, because if he hadn't have signed a new deal, he would have been in a position where he would have had a little bit more control over the sort of next 3 years of his career, knowing that he wasn't going to extend and sort of making that clear to Chelsea. But now that he has extended, he is not in a position to negotiate anything. He can't dictate any terms. Hope you're doing well, Jordan. Good to see you. I agree, Val. I don't think he'll get 40 games. I don't think it will happen. Neil, big supporter of Mark Guiu. Good. Chelsea just told us it was a great loan fee. We would have been happy with that, but bragging about this fantastic obligation when it's high or an impossibility is embarrassing. Well, I'm not sure Chelsea bragged about it. I mean, they just said the news, right? But now we just know more details about the obligation. So, yeah, you're right in that sense. Lumi agrees with Cal. Will Tyreek be playing up front now? I doubt that, to be honest with you. Hello, Dead in the Water. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Well, Lumi, Mark Guiu was wasted at Sunderland. He didn't play any league games. There's clearly a reason they were happy to send him back, because there would have been a clause in that deal. If Mark Guiu didn't play a certain amount of games for Sunderland, if he didn't feature, then they would have had to pay a penalty fee to Chelsea. So that shows you that Sunderland didn't value him because they were happy to give him back. The Crimson Chins post. Good to see you. Love the stream. CFTV Chelsea. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thoughts on Madueke looking world class since leaving us? I haven't watched enough of him, to be honest with you. How many goals has he scored? How many assists has he got? That's I don't actually know the answer, but probably not many. So I mean, I'm not sure about this world class thing. Yeah, and I think you make a great point, AB. The essential thing is that Jackson just needs to score 15 to 20 goals, and that will help him get a club and attract interest. As long as there's still relevance and value in the player, then that's all you can ask for, really. But it's going to be difficult. We'll see. He needs minutes. Ultimately, he needs minutes. Just going back to what I was saying about Harry Kane as well, you want to see how many games he's actually starting as well, because this is important. Because I told you, 45 appearances in the 23-24 campaign, 51 last season, 4 this season so far. But how many of them are starts for Harry Kane? And the answer is, in the 23-24 campaign, he started 44 out of the 44 games he's involved in. Came off the bench once. The next season, he started 46 out of 51 games, came off the bench 5 times, and this season he started 4 games. And those are the ones he's been featured in. So this is quite a worrying stat for us, especially wanting Bayern to rely on Nicholas Jackson, because if Kane's constantly fit, if he's constantly available, it doesn't give them a reason to change anything. Whereas if there was an injury or a risk of injury, you would see Jackson coming into the fold more so. But if Kane's constantly available, you don't have that problem. So, yes, slightly disappointing, if I'm being honest, on Nicholas Jackson. But what can you do? It's a situation that we'll have to see unfold and see how many games he plays. I mean, that's if he's starting as a striker next to Kane or in another position as well, or just rotating. If he's rotating, then we're fucked, because he's just not going to start a lot of games, is he? But we'll see. We will see. Right, let's talk about the latest, guys. What is new today? All right, let's talk about some of the players over internationals. It's not necessarily all today, you know what I mean. Reece James got an assist in England's win over Andorra, which was apparently very uninspiring. At Villa Park, got an assist which Declan Rice managed to head in, but it was a good cross apparently. I didn't watch the game. I don't really watch England, to be honest with you, unless it's, sort of a competitive competition. I used to watch a lot more England, but I do just find it quite boring, to be honest with you. So each to your own on that. I don't know if all of you watch England. I ended up watching Chelsea women, which surprised me quite a bit. I couldn't believe I was actually doing it, but I thought I'd give it a go. I thought, why not? I'll be open-minded, and I'll try it. I've been to WSL games. Not a big fan of going in person, to be honest with you. It's just not for me. But I thought I'll watch this one. I'll watch it live. I'll do a watch along, see if I enjoy it more. And I did. I did enjoy it more. Because I was able to see what was going on, better view of the game. It helps obviously when you see names popping up, and you can sort of do a bit of research as you're watching the game, because I don't know every single player who plays for Chelsea women. I'm not going to pretend I do, but I learned a lot watching the 2-1 win over Manchester City. And listen, we're blessed to have one of the best women's teams out there. We are blessed, absolutely blessed. And if you do if you are interested in watching it, I will say this: like there is some good stuff in there, but it's a different game. It's not like the men's game. Can I compare it? Can I even sit here and say that it's along the? I enjoy it anywhere near as much? Obviously not. For me, I won't lie, but I still enjoyed it. I appreciate it. It's like a different sport, though. It's like a different sport. If you're a tennis fan, some people don't like watching men's tennis, because in women's tennis you get longer rallies and the points are longer, so people quite like that. Some people don't like watching women's tennis because they prefer watching the men's game for whatever reason, maybe a little bit more technical, a bit more intricate. So in football, again, it's like, just do your own thing. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm trying to be open-minded with the women's game, and I enjoyed it. And I will say this: I've seen your comment as well, Neil. Ellie Carpenter was great. She was really, really positive to watch. She was fantastic. By far the man of the match, or woman of the match. What do I say? Player of the match. Yes. So, yeah, it looks like Reece James has cemented himself as a key part of Thomas Tuchel's plans, especially on that right-hand side. We saw him play as a left-back at one point for Thomas Tuchel, but he was a right-back in this game. I hope he can stay as a right-back. And I do think that Maresca will be fully aware of, obviously, the amount of football that James is playing for England, and I think he's going to try and manage that. Because if you're playing for England, playing for Chelsea, all of this, especially Reece James, got to be careful. Got to be very, very careful. So I hope he doesn't get injured. In terms of Cole Palmer's injury, we've had some positive news updates from him. He did a post online saying he'll be back soon. I personally think that he'll be available for Brentford, and I look forward to Alex is a concourse merchant during the women's game. Who the fuck logged into my account? Oh, God. See what I have to deal with, guys. Is that Kev? Is that you? Is that you, Cam? Right, well, someone's logging into my account. Please stop. For fuck's sake. Anyway. Okay. Let's continue. So Cole Palmer should be back. And I think that he'll probably feature against Brentford. I don't know if he'll start, but I think he'll feature. Might come off the bench. I think if we're not winning the game, there's probably a good chance he should come off the bench. If we win the game comfortably, I mean, if we're up and Esteval's in the 10 or João Pedro's in the 10, maybe Mark Gu's up top, then I'm open to seeing that. I think we have more than enough quality, even if Gu does start, to go and win that game. Although a lot of people don't think he's good enough. We'll see. So let me know what you think about Cole Palmer. Moises Caicedo, he missed the Paraguay game. So he sat out for Ecuador. He had physical discomfort, and local reports expect him back against Argentina in 3 days' time when they play him. Based on that discomfort, I would be slightly concerned, because if he's going to be playing in 3 days' time, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then he's going to have to play on a Saturday. So it's Wednesday, Saturday. Is that enough recovery time if he's not feeling great? So I've got to be a little bit careful there. Esteval scored his first ever goal for Brazil. It was an overhead kick against Chile. It wasn't like a crazy one from outside, far away. It was practically on the line, but it was nice. It was good to look at. It was a goal against Chile. So he's obviously a part of Carlo Ancelotti's plans. And João Pedro assisted Esteval. He got the assist for it. He had a little bit of a scare. Nothing has come from it. It was basically he got knocked in the stomach, and I think he threw up. But he's fine. And João Pedro seems to be absolutely okay. So we would have had a serious problem if João Pedro got injured, but all good. Malo Gusto got some minutes for France. He came on late in France's win. Who did he play? Against Ukraine. Okay, so they beat Ukraine 2-0. He came on in that game. But just literally a small feature, not that much. In the last 48 hours, just to give you the roundup on the injury picture, we know that Delap's going to be out for at least a few weeks, probably about 8. We've heard that already. Palmer should be back soon for the Brentford game. Lavia, no updates, but he's still building himself up. This is quite a good example of where the international break actually suits us. Players like Lavia, players like Delap, take 2 weeks out. Take 2 weeks out of the game, and it's 2 weeks of recovery. So maybe that does help us. And that is the main thing in terms of the players on international duty. In terms of the sponsorship and the front of shirt sponsor, the latest briefings say that Chelsea is still seeking 60 to 65 million pounds, and the talks are ongoing. So a BBC journalist summary reported that 2 days ago. And we haven't had anything else on the front of shirt sponsorship situation as of yet. But it's looking pretty quiet apart from that, really. Obviously, we will have more international, so we can keep you posted with that when it happens. And obviously the WSL game as well. No ads on the CFTV account. Got to claim my expenses somehow. Oh, you bastard. You absolute bastard. It is true. I have YouTube Premium. So, by the way, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. If you don't have YouTube Premium, I respect your patience, your resilience. because I can't fucking watch YouTube with the ads. Every 10 seconds an advert pops up. I can't stand it. Cannot stand it. So I totally appreciate anyone that actually pays. I think it's worth it, but it's quite expensive. It's like £17 a month or something. But you just think of Netflix and all this other stuff that you pay a similar amount for and ask yourself the question, do you watch YouTube more? And I would say for a lot of people, it's yes. Use an ad blocker. And what does that do? I don't know anything about these ad blockers. Lumi says James's injury curse is gone. Difficult to. I wouldn't go that far. Much playing up. Thank you, Castillo. Appreciate the kind words. Smash that like button as well if you haven't already, guys. I don't even know how many likes we're on, but I do know we've got almost 400 people on all platforms. I don't know if anyone else is streaming. I don't know if you're getting anything. Ads are better than watching Lewis. That's a bit harsh. God, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Each to their own, I suppose. Right. If you're on YouTube, we need to get up to at least 60 likes, people. I think we've only got 34 as it stands. If you're on X, come on, guys, show some support. We've got about 300 of you on X. Smash the like button, subscribe. If you want any of the new Chelsea merchandise as well, you can access that if you go on in the description below on YouTube. Right at the top, it says find all of the latest Chelsea FC merchandise below. If you click that link, then you can get anything from the Chelsea Meg store, and you can grab a new shirt, whatever it is. I've been a bit slow to promote all of this stuff because, to be quite honest with you, I'm just not really I'm not that bothered if you use my link, but if you do, it helps, and they've got some good stuff. Lewis is too positive about Maresca because he had an agenda against Poch. Now he's too cocky about the Club World Cup. Other fans hate it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you've got to big up the Club World Cup. 4 years of basically being able to say we're the best team in the world. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially after what we've been through in the past couple of years. Am I doing an Argentina versus Ecuador watch along? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to try and keep everything on this channel Chelsea related. So obviously the thing is, guys, I go to all the men's games, so can't really do watch alongs for them, but I'm going to try and up the level a little bit and do more women's games. And I am also going to be doing more content on Strasbourg because it's very relevant, right? That's our sort of sister club. So Chelsea and Strasbourg are going to be two of the clubs that I cover extensively really on this channel. I could potentially start another smaller channel and talk about other things, but let's just focus on Chelsea on this one. This is a Chelsea fan channel, so we'll keep it that way. What's the last game I missed? Well, I've missed lots of games. I don't go to every single one, but I go to the majority. I mean, if we're going to go, fucking hell. The last game I missed, the Club World Cup final, probably. Yeah. I didn't go to the Club World Cup final, and I didn't go to the Club World Cup semi-final. And I didn't go to the Benfica game in America either. I went to all the others. So I went to LAFC. I saw ES Tunis. So that was Esperance. I saw the Palmeiras game. I saw the Flamengo game. Is that it? I think so. Those are the ones I went to see. And I might miss the Lincoln game because the allocation is so low. FIFA talking about having Club World Cup every 2 years, not 4. That's poor. It shouldn't be every 2 years. If it's every 2 years, it's wrong, in my opinion. That's too much football. Every 4 years makes it, a special competition that's actually worth having. And it hypes it up. That gives it genuine hype. If you did a World Cup every 2 years, it takes away all of the hype. It's like, oh, okay, we'll just have to wait another 2 years. It's like an election. When you're trying to elect the president or the prime minister, I know the prime minister gets 5 years. So that's every 5 years you have an election, unless somebody really fucks it up. And then in America, it's every 4 years. That's hype. That's why people actually care about it. I mean, if it was once a year, it's not the same, is it? It's not the same. So I'm definitely a fan of spreading that competition out if you want to get any hype out of it. The Champions League is obviously a great competition because they can do that every year. FIFA are just trying to compete with that. And my opinion is you cannot compete with that. You've already got the World Cup, biggest competition in the world. Stop fucking around. Honestly, stop messing around with it. Because players will put their foot down and say, we're not going to play this many games of football. But the clubs will also come out and go, well, if we can't get this many games of football on, we can't afford to pay more for players. We can't afford to do it. Did I get the emergency message on your phone? Yes, I did. I did get that emergency message. Install Brave. Okay. And how much does Brave cost? I'm very well, Morat. Thanks for asking. Right, let's see what else is on here. Nicholas Jackson did do an interview, to be fair. We'll go through that interview. Go on then. And that was on Tutto Sport, which is an Italian website by the looks of it. Jackson opens up about his new adventure at Bayern Munich and his idol Ronaldo. An interview with the striker who arrived from Chelsea on the last day of the transfer window. I never had any doubts, but yes, it took a bit of patience. Very strong emotions, but not the reason you might think. I was simply very happy to sign for one of the biggest clubs in the world, to discover another league and other great players. At the same time, I was a little sad to leave Chelsea, my teammates and the fans. I experienced so many strong emotions there. We won the Conference League and the Club World Cup. Now I'm 100% focused on my new project, and I can't wait to experience the incredible atmosphere at the Allianz Arena. One of the questions was basically, can you tell us about the move to Chelsea? And he said, honestly, my advisors and I were very confident. I never doubted that I would sign with Bayern, so I took the situation philosophically. I'm in good health, as are my loved ones, and I'm lucky to be a professional footballer. Nothing else matters. He was asked, he said that the journalist said, the German club has invested a lot in you. What do you promise to repay them for their efforts? And then Jackson said, I would like to thank Bayern for the trust they have placed in me from the very beginning. I promise to give everything, every minute, every match, every training session. I know the responsibility this jersey entails. I'm here to work hard, help the team win, and grow every day. That is my mission. He was asked if he received any special compliments. He said, the best compliment I've ever received in my life is, before being a great player, you're a great person. They said, who would you like to send a special thank you to? Who does he want to thank? He said, to everyone at Bayern who welcomed me so incredibly. The board of directors, the coach, the players, and the fans. Of course, to everyone I met at Chelsea, from the president to the employees and the fans, to my family, my advisor, Diamansi Kamara, and my agent, Ali Barat, who have always believed in me and helped me every day. Finally, to the people of Senegal, who constantly support and backing, I feel. Don't know what that means. I am proud to represent them for the national team. Why does things stop working at Chelsea under Enzo Maresca, he was asked. And Jackson responded with, football is full of cycles. Sometimes they don't go as they should, and that's part of the game. I respect Coach Maresca. I learned a lot from him. He has his own ideas and style. I just needed something different at this stage in my career. I have no regrets, just gratitude for my time at Chelsea. And then he was asked about the age of the coach, because Maresca's 45 and Vincent Kompany's 39. And he said, what's the main differences you've noticed? He said, to be honest, I don't like to compare coaches. They both have their own style and operate in different club and context. They were two top players and now they are two top coaches. I learned a lot from Coach Maresca, and I know Vincent Kompany will teach me a lot too. I can't wait to play under him. He was asked, at Bayern, you'll find a European football in the Hurricane Harry Kane, a giant of European football in Harry Kane. How do you see yourself alongside him, and what do you think about him? He said, the most important thing won't be Harry, but the whole team. It's a huge honor. Kane is one of the best strikers in the world. I hope to learn from him, complement his game, and build a strong bond on the pitch. We are two strikers who complement each other very well on the pitch and will work hard to ensure the results live up to expectations. Playing with a striker of his caliber and all the others will definitely help me improve. Then he was asked about basically playing Chelsea in the Champions League. He said, this is football. It will be exciting. But once kickoff is blown, I'll give everything for my Bayern. It's also a great opportunity to show who I am and how much I've grown. All right, my Bayern. Jesus. Bit close, isn't it? Bit personal. In November, they'll travel to Paris to face PSG and then London to face Arsenal. 2 more big matches. Okay, he's talking about Arsenal. Don't care. Talks about his inspiration. Not bothered. Okay, so fair enough. Fair enough. That's what Jackson had to say with the questions they asked him about his idol. I don't think we're really that bothered on this stream, but everything about Chelsea, we can kind of get the gist. Yeah, he's pretty thankful. I don't think he's really throwing much shade at Chelsea. You can't, I think that, well, that's what you should do. You should try and be respectful. And I think he has been. So fair play. That's good. I'm glad. You'd like to see the League Cup scrapped. There's more and more fixtures piling up and something has to go. I will tell you exactly which competition needs to go. And it's not the League Cup. The Nations League. The Nations League must be scrapped. The worst competition I have ever seen. I've done the Nations League. I was there the first time it was made when we were in Portugal and England played the first match against Holland. We actually should have won that game. Jesse Lingard scored a goal, which was disallowed. We deserved to win that game. Fucking great atmosphere from the England fans. People criticize the England fans at Wembley, but if you actually watch England in competitive tournaments, our fans are unreal. Unreal. And then we played against Switzerland to decide who finished third, and we won that match on penalties, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. The Nations League is a good competition in theory, but it disrupts club football too much. It gets in the way. It's not it's not a pleasure to take part in the Nations League. It's a chore. It's a chore. Nobody talks about the Nations League. Nobody aspires to win the Nations League. It's not a historic competition. It's not inspiring. It's not relevant. It's just not relevant. And then what people say is the coaches need time to implement their way. Okay, that's fine. But why not just have a longer period where, when the World Cup happens and the Euros happens, and you can do friendlies in that period? You can do that. I would rather an extra month of international football in and around the Euros and the World Cup. An extra month. Maybe even an extra month and a half. Fuck it. Twice every 4 years we'd have this. Because you've got the Euros and you've got the World Cup. And then you've got 2 years with nothing. How beautiful would that be? You'll have the Club World Cup. So 3 years. And then you got 1 year with nothing. You can actually relax without having to worry about any football. Just think of it. You've got the World Cup coming up. We want to prepare. That's fine. It's fine. Let the players finish their season. Let them finish their season. And then organize, I don't know. You got a month. Organize 4 friendly matches. 4 friendly matches. Okay? Against whoever. 1 a week. Saturday. World Cup starts the Saturday after that. And I think people would prefer that. It would make it easier for the Premier League. It would make it easier for European competitions. It would make it easier for domestic cups. And it would not, it wouldn't be, I know a lot of people don't like internationals, but it's the best solution. It is the best solution. Thoughts on the bomb squad? Well, I mean, Desassi's part of the bomb squad. Sterling's part of the bomb squad. Fuck them, respectfully. In the most respectful way, but who cares? Who cares? Let's not sit here and act like Chelsea didn't give these guys an out. Like Desassi didn't have the opportunity to go to Wolves or West Ham or Bournemouth. Apparently rejected all of them. Crystal Palace was in the conversation as well. So what, are we going to feel sorry for a guy who rejected at least 3 proposals? And Sterling also met plenty of opportunities. MLS, Saudi. We said no. So there's your answer. You chose to be a part of the bomb squad. Chelsea didn't ask you to be here. We wanted to get rid of you. And you still said you want to stay. Eat your dinner on your own. There you go. Loving everyone in the chat. It was a good chat today, actually. Big up to all of you. You've been great. I'm enjoying this as well. It's not over yet, though. Let's not get emotional here. You don't need to get your handkerchiefs out. What's the difference between the Nations League and the Euros? What's the idea behind the competition? Oh my God. Come on, mate. All right. The difference is that the Euros is a set time and the Nations League is spread out throughout the whole year. So the Euros, you've got the season. This is the season. Season finishes. Euros. Season starts again. New season. Okay? Usually in the summer. The Euros, right? We've just had a 2-week break. And England are playing, 2 matches in that time? It's like Nations League. Couple of months. 2-week break. Nations League. Couple of months. Nations League, couple of months, Nations League. You tell me, would you rather take a month out of, I don't know, it's not probably longer than a month and a half, bang, 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 or just get out of the way in one go? That's the difference. Sugo is injured, is he? We'll look at that. All right, before we look at Sugo's injury, here is some interesting stats. Now, obviously, you have to take this with a pinch of salt because Chelsea have played, well, Crystal Palace, Fulham, and West Ham. So let's not get carried away here. But nonetheless, you can appreciate something that's good. And I'll zoom in on that a little bit. So Chelsea's team rank in the Premier League this season: first for average possession, first for big chances created, joint first for least goals conceded, second for goals scored, and second for XG accumulated. And I think those are good numbers to look at, but let's not look at it as anything more than that. Take it with a pinch of salt. Chelsea are doing well. We are stable. It's early in the season. I hope we've learned our lesson from last season, having got very carried away. Understandably, to an extent, bearing in mind where we had been previously. But one step at a time. Let's see how we do against the big boys. Yes, you are correct. The Portuguese FA confirmed on the 2nd of September that Dario Sugo suffered a right thigh muscle problem in training with the under-21s and was declared unavailable. Benfica's João Velosa was called up to replace him. Sports Illustrated reiterated today that the injury is to his right thigh. The independent injury trackers put an early estimate at 2 to 3 weeks, which would put Brentford on Saturday in doubt. No official Chelsea date return. So, yes, Dario Sugo is out. He's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. So that would put him out of Brentford. That would also put him out of our fixture against Bayern Munich, which I don't think he'll play anyway, but that would put him out of that fixture. And hopefully be in contention for the Man United game, especially the Lincoln game. That's a game I would want Sugo to play. So that gives you an idea. And yes, so he's not around, but I don't think that's a huge concern. I mean, what's concerning is if Caicedo gets injured and you haven't got a Sugo either, because you definitely don't have Lavia. You're not going to trust him over a season, are you? So, all we can hope is that he'll recover quickly and he'll get better. But yeah, good to see that Chelsea's stats in the Prem are looking pretty positive, all in all. And to be honest with you guys, that is the main brunt of what we've gone through. I'll go through a couple of chats and then let's see what we've said. Disappointed we haven't seen more of a Suko. It's true, but listen, the season's only just started. Esteval getting injured would have been very bad. I mean, any injury is bad, isn't it? The plane doesn't go backwards. Hey, listen, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. But listen, really appreciate your time. Appreciate everyone that's jumped on as well. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. It does help. It does make a difference. And really appreciate everyone that's jumped on, whether you've been watching for the whole show or if you've just jumped on as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And just a message from Mr. Wilkins: stop logging into my account and pay for your own YouTube Premium. Anyway, all the best, guys, and we will catch up very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.